Have you ever struggled with building boxes or boxing up in general? When you're free building and editing, do you sometimes miss builds? If so, then you found the right video. In this video, I will teach you how to build in the correct form. So when it comes down to it and you have to place your builds, you will know exactly why it didn't work. It all comes down to your form. Something that's very important that people don't talk about at all. And you won't look at building in Fortnite the same. But without any further ado, let's get into it! A lot of times we forget the order of the buttons that we press and we press them randomly. That causes us to sometimes miss builds. But if you stick to a specific pattern and keep it the same every single time, that'll add to your default muscle memory. And then there's no way that you can miss edit or build. Before we get back into it, I wanted to let you guys know that I will be giving away 1,000 V-Bucks to whoever can come up with the best name for you guys. And what I mean by that is, whoever can come up with the best name for my supporters will win. You have to at least have Discord or a Gmail. Holy. Speaking of Discord, I recommend you to join my Discord server. In my Discord, I will host custom matches like solos or duos or whatever. Every now and then I'll just drop a V-Bucks code in there, and whoever gets the code first gets to use the code. And I'll have practice routines in general for creative warriors, a comp routine, a fighter routine, and an all-arounder routine. I also have my settings in here. That way, if you want to use my settings or if you want to know what my settings are, I'll have them in here and I'll update them every single time I change them with date. I also have PC tweaks that are 100% safe. If there's a check mark on it, it's 100% safe. Also, if you guys have any requests, just join the ask questions. In general, it's just for mainly just talking. I also have a move list. I made this back in 2024. It's filled with a bunch of different moves you can practice. All you have to do is just go to membership requests, type in @F3X, join, send that, and then I will give you the role. And then you will have access to all of this. So first things first, we have editing, selecting, and then we have confirming. That's a 3-step process per edit. Alright, now let's talk about what could go wrong. Number 1, you don't give yourself enough time to select every tile. Number 2, you're confirming way too early. Number 3, you have a bad reset button. And what I mean by that is that you tap it way too often on mistake. Or you might confuse it for your confirm button. So that causes you to cancel your select. Number 4, you're too far. Do you see how it says unable to edit building? That's because you're too far. And in some cases you can use your map, but if you're spamming too many buttons at one time, you'll end up placing a cone. Now let's say I got on top of this cone, right, and I want to edit the wall. When I try to edit the wall, I'll edit the cone. You see how my cone is in the way? In order to stop this, you want to at least stand like right here. You want to edit with your pump. As long as you're looking at the wall with your pump, you can edit it. But let's say you wanted to free build with your shotgun, right? In order to do that, you would have to use switch mode. And what I mean by that is you would have to tap it a lot. If you can't tap your switch mode this fast, then I recommend you not even try, because it's going to be even harder on you. But you know, it's up to you. You pull out your shotgun first, and when it's time to build, you want to tap switch mode. Every single time that you have to place a build, you want to pull out your map. If you're not comfortable doing that, just continue to practice it over and over. But yeah, what you want to do is tap switch mode, place the builds, then you tap switch mode again, and then you edit with your pump. Like that. You want to also reset with your pump. But when it's time to build any new builds, you want to continue to tap switch mode. Let me show you what it look like. I also recommend 2 settings to make this experience even better. You want to turn off reset building choice, and you also want to go to your look settings and make sure they're kind of high. And mine personally is not that high, but most likely if you want to do this very fast and make it look very flash, you might want to cut it up a little bit more. And what I meant earlier about the order is that you want to make sure that you're placing it the correct way every single time. Like, okay, let's say I'm building, right, and I do 90s this way, right? I put 4 walls, I put a wall right here, up here, in front of me, and then down right here. Then I jump up and place a floor and a ramp at the same time though, like so, something like that, right? But let's say I'm like freaking out, or somebody's spraying me, or I have to get up fast, right? And I start panicking, right? So when I try to build up this time, I'm not building it the way I normally do. Instead, I'm trying to place the walls and ramps at the same time, but I'm not tapping it in the correct order because of the situation. So instead of me doing walls and the floor like this, I did. You see how that causes me to mess up? That's not what I usually do. Same thing goes for every single thing you build in the game. So make sure you remember that. Also, I want to talk about the main cause of inconsistent free builds. Okay, so you know how earlier when we were trying to edit with our pump, so we look directly at the builds when we were editing? That's not what you want to do. When you're free building, you want to place the builds and run into them naturally. You don't want to try to edit your builds as soon as you place them, because most likely they'll be too far away, and that will cause you to change your formation. And what I mean by that is the way you place the builds and the way you're looking at the builds. So like, let's say I'm going up, right, and I want to do a triple edit. Instead of me placing these builds and looking directly down here, right, so I can edit this floor, and I look directly down here so I can edit this cone too as well, I flick up, and then I look directly down here so I can edit this wall, right? That's not what you want to do. First of all, you want to make sure that you're looking up high enough to place those builds in order. And I'm going to show you what I mean. I can place this ramp as long as I look up in the right range. But if I look up too high, notice how I can't place the ramp. And if I look too low, I can't place the ramp either. Alright, now let's look at wall. I can't place the wall right here. I can only place the wall when I look up this high. What about the cone and floor? I can place the cone when I'm looking up this high, and I can somewhat place the cone when I'm looking right here, but it's kind of inconsistent. You can see how it like changes, and it could go past or it could go this, it's not going to be where I want it to be. As you can see, I can place the floor no matter what. The only builds that are really inconsistent when trying to do this are my ramp, my wall, and my cone. And where do they all line up at? Let's see. Cone lines up right here. Okay, my wall doesn't, but my ramp does. Okay, now back to wall. Just because my wall doesn't place right here doesn't mean I'm looking up in a bad spot. I'm actually looking up at the right height. I just have to walk up more. And the same thing goes for my ramp. As long as I'm looking up at the same height, it'll place. And as long as I place my cone early, it'll be in the right spot. And of course, the floor is 100% accurate. No matter how high I run up to place this cone, it's going to place right above this floor. So we know for a fact that we want to place the floor, then the cone. But when I edit, look at this new issue. I'm not looking up high anymore, and that causes me to make a mistake and sometimes put a cone right in front of myself. And this all comes down from you not looking up high enough. So when you edit, don't end off looking down, end off looking up about this high. But now we have another issue, right? We can't put the wall. When I tap wall, it places down here. It doesn't place up there. And why is that? Remember earlier when I was saying that this isn't a problem? You just have to walk up. That's exactly what I mean. You see how the wall pops up now? And when I place it, it automatically lines up. So when I finish editing, I can place the ramp. And look, you don't want to try to edit your builds from far away. You see how hard that is? That's just you basically rushing your edits before you even get to them. You want to give yourself time to walk up to them. Everything has a building and editing point, and that's formation. Majority of all things you edit and build in a free build line up right here. Like right here. So you want to make sure throughout your free build, you want to have your crosshair in the exact same spot, nice and high. Just give yourself time to walk up to it, because I guarantee you, if you consistently look up to edit this, then look down to place that, then look up to edit this, then look down to place that, and then look up to edit this, you're going to miss something. Something's not going to place. Let's say I did edit like that, right? I'm looking at these floors and I'm looking at this one tile trying to get it done as fast as possible, right? Now when I finish editing this, I can't place my wall. And in my head, I'm thinking as soon as I double edit, I'm going to be able to place a wall, right? No, you have to look up and give it time. Never break the formation, because even now I can even place my ramp until I get all the way up here. Remind you, if you look up high enough, you can place your ramp all the way back here. Everything is up here. The wall is up here and the ramp is up here as well. I'm placing my ramp and wall right now. If I look down, I can't place my ramp or wall. If I look right here, I can't place my ramp or wall. If I look right here, I can put a ramp, but I can't put a wall. That's because I'm not looking up high enough. And if I miss a single build, that's going to mess up my free build. So make sure you look up high enough for everything to place. And once you edit something, finish it off looking up. That aligns with everything, right? Also, don't forget to use code Frizzy in the item shop. Shout out to my boy Pump for using the code. I appreciate you very much. Thank you very much. And to everyone else that uses the code, thank all y'all. Let's get back into it. Alright, now it's time for me to explain the basic way to place these builds. Alright, first up, building a box. If you're in a rush, right, and somebody's like, let's say like right here, the only issue with making the box is that you don't know where the grid is. It's going to be kind of complicated to actually make a full box really fast, because you might be right here and then you might mess up your box placement because you're not on the grid. A quick little simple way to fix this is to put a cone first. I could just throw a cone down and then get on top of the cone. And to do it, I recommend you just put a cone anywhere, right? Connect the wall to it as soon as you put the cone down. Walk onto the cone a little bit, put that wall, put another cone, right? And look forward while doing this. And then you just spin around. Alright, now let's say after you made your box, you want to go up, right? What you want to do, the best way to go up is to clear the way by editing both of these tiles, right? Like that. Jumping up. And as you can see, I can put walls all the way through here, right? And then I can just double reset. Or you can do this basically, right? Notice how when I do one tile, I'm fully covered. That's better than you going out like this and trying to build like that, right? That's going to get you shot. I know a lot of people do that. All right, now it's time for the common misconception with side jumps. They tend to look down, or they tend to try to look in the area where it's in a place. You don't want to look all the way up, or you don't want to look all the way down. You want to look forward. Most side jumps line up that way. So if I side jump and do this right, I don't have to look all the way down to do that. I can look a little forward. It's better if you have a wall. You just you know, put the wall, and then as I'm jumping out, right, I'm gonna look forward and I'm gonna build a ramp counter wall. You see how that lines up? And in order to get used to this and practice this, you need to go into Raiders map right here. All right, once you get in here, you want to go into free build right here. You gotta run into it and basically turn the speed down. And you want to free build, but you want to check your timing and your distance throughout the whole thing. And I want you to work around and find out exactly what you're doing wrong. You need to find out if you're too far or too close. There's always something wrong. Find out what it is and work around it. But anyways, that's it. Thank y'all for watching. Feel free to drop a sub. If you don't, I'm just glad you watched the video to begin with. And if you made it this far, drop the wood emoji. Have a good night. Have a good day. Whatever time it is for y'all. Make sure y'all having a good day. Always strive to be great. And it doesn't have to be Fortnite. It can be whatever you want it to be. You can do whatever you want to do. You just have to be motivated enough. But thank you for watching again. Peace out and bye. Spaghetti.